Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. May God and sister, good afternoon. Um, I want to tell you and thank you for this opportunity we give me as a national conference principal national. During the minister in talk, it took about the guidelines the way the ministry give me as principal them for take. And we as principal them, we all according to the guidelines with the support of the Alumni Association representatives them. And someday we can get some the board members that were available, they can join the panel for do the interview, including a representative from the Ministry of Education, MBSSE. We not for interview if government Ministry of Education not giving the price list. Every year they review the price list. 2 weeks ago we just come on our office and ministry where we sit up with two directors and we executive as CPSS, we draft a price list which the directors then tell me say they will forward them to the minister and NEC, from there and forward them to Ministry of Trade. So we wait for consider price list there, and all we colleagues, we get the list where government will give it, we will pay stamp at the various schools then for the start of the interview or the table will ready for admit the picking and project assessment. But again, not for all man we will take, like particular school, like where the minister talk. We get grade A schools where now really rush and difficult for them. For say when government will go not engage with government don't give it cut line. Still you will see people in camp for camp lead. But it really challenging at this time when we prepare for learning picking them camp or camp the interview immediately after the cutoff line. Because the cutoff line date is now the 12th of August, and then the 18th interview will start. Again, I want to tell the minister thank you because we as conference of principal, we always get with her. And in the midst of the challenges, when the main thing we dey cry to the minister for, he can call me say, right now I need a finance. I want to know what is the problem for this late payment or non-payment of subsidy. He will call me. So maybe at this afternoon, we want Una send for the support the government, for they go out as journalists and see who side the challenge there, where schools go on for your own academic year without no subsidy. Some of the greatest schools they try with the alumni because the alumni they always pay for support. But what about the new junior school where government just recruits? How they go on? But we minister, he know all we stress, he know all we challenge, we cry when we cry to him for this challenge. We not say this year when school dey in September and book list. So we tell us and book list. So we tell and say, please, we have started it, let us continue, give it to them as the package they need. On that note, I rest my case and wait for more questions or any discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PRO of the Council of Principals of High Schools. During the talk, the two issues parents are raised, as shall we say, as an organization or as a unit, everything with our guidelines provided by the ministry, they will also try to adhere. When I one into the placement guidelines where they don't give them how to take the beginner into the schools. Two, the price list of the items where they can sell or give parents them for the beginning with the class for all junior secondary schools. Going further, also bring the concerns, the challenges where they can face, uh, but also they do justice for the minister and the ministry with respect to the efforts where they make, whether they ensure say the Ministry of Finance respond to the needs of the schools. Thank you. And why make Bukila for Kutuman in charge? Is it the timing? He make me bonus. Thank you very much. Uh, Going further, eh, human capital development. MBS is out, placement. The next thing is teacher recruitment, teacher welfare. So, as the chairman for Teaching Service Commission, Mr. Lance Kevara, one more, we don't see a lot of notices out there about what teachers for do. In fact, we as ministers and politicians, the number of people when they call me for teacher recruitment, where I see this thing, I was very happy. So that we explain how this teacher recruitment can happen and what is there for the teachers because they are so free quality education. We don't have a teacher are finding where. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm being announced chairman of the Teaching Service Commission. And teacher business na long explanation, but I will just try for quickly go through there. I'm going to be really fast. Now, teacher recruitment happen through what we call TMIS, Teacher Management Information System. And now we don't take all the human factor out of the recruitment and deployment of teachers. So we all that in the past now ED forms they go complete, they go now district offices and all of now it is completely online. As long as you pass your licensure examination, and we dey try also for professionalized teaching. So like nurses and lawyers, if you want to become a teacher, you therefore take a license exam. Once you have passed that license exam, especially for those waiting outside of the profession at the moment, we know you're in school, you therefore apply online. When you apply online, you know all the processes that will happen online. This year, we did recruit 3,300 teachers, and 2,000 of that 3,300 teachers are from government of Sierra Leone. Like for the past 3 years, we also get EdTech. Now they did do that. We did do what we call equitable deployment. We know not to me now this this may forget this number. It is now based on the people qualified people teacher ratio. How many teachers in that district, in relation to the number of pupils that we then get. Also, the performance in the transitional examinations and PSC that they pass, how that district will do. It's depending on that will be, the quota is generated. I will just give you a quick example. For example, Falaba go towards the schools there, we don't get any teacher. So the other 30% they go to schools there, we get teacher, but the number of teachers which they can, actually plenty. So Nadani we can do. So I will talk quickly. The portal is still open. People can still apply. Go on as long as you don't pass, you go onto that portal. So and they also talk a little bit about the welfare of teachers and the cycle of the cycle of negotiation don't come to an end. There was one that we did in 2022. So the new cycle is starting the new year. So some of the things that we're going to do after that last negotiation, for example, we don't we are now recognizing master's degree as part of the pay scale. So if you get a master's degree, you go you we need principal vice principal pay scale. So we after this registration as well, we don't just do a national registration verification. We find out that there were about 4,997 teachers who were not in their schools who said will be recruited. But what if we don't say all the teachers they will go back and we go back and make sure to regularize them inside the schools the way they do right now before we begin for deployment. So we also work very close with SNTU for its soft loans to teachers and about 10%. If you go down the banks and the other loan sharks, then you get a lot higher than that. Okay, follow for now putting up explanation of issues around the most prominent people in our lives. We always loyal. We don't pass through the hands of teachers. Some of we teach extensively. And one of the things of your beginning. So anybody with like himself at that domain, I just encourage me because they have produced a lot of people. Recently, about 34, the doctor we can open the with all. I didn't even introduce myself as a minister. They don't go to say, I turn back. He called me. That's it, they say, oh, Peter. I said, Carl, see your face. He said, you didn't go there next. I said, yes, I said, you teach me. I said, thank you very much, sir. So those are the things you enjoy when you come across speaking when you don't teach within another level. No matter outside, they always will recognize you. If you are very honest and sincere as a teacher. So when, again, first that somebody go teach, even if you get masters, they know I know. I teach you feel. Right? What is it that what you will? And they have 1,000 euros. But with 100 euros, they don't give you. They be frustrated. Because when you meet your colleagues and NIA, this and that, you know, you say, why me? What? A lot of people don't pass through it, get a recognition. So if we all work together for make that what is supposed to be. And one of the things I see here, we really take me was there's soft loan. Now so mankind now more than high. They want grant me as school. The lower you propose to me, if I take a I've already done school past 10 years. Because now soft loan by then also 10 million, 10,000 now. And teacher, he said, but the cost are small. I said, man, take the cost. Say I paid 10 million. I will just take certificate there. That I'm permanently at modern high school. But now motivation, trying to motivate me from staying. So this one for the school is studying. Thank you very much. I'm not talk about that. But when it comes to teaching, I mean, uh, and when teaching, we don't have the employment, security, and other things. So we have somebody in our midst, neither a commissioner and a registrar of the Sierra Leone Commission of Arms Examination. We are concerned. The role of this commission and waiting at the achievement. Today, it's not just about creating these commissions with these names. Waiting this commission before and waiting you don't achieve. We now go listen to Major General retired but not tired Christian Fine. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. Pambulem, good afternoon. As we know hearing from the minister, I will begin with the mandate of the commission. The mandate of the commission are to regulate and supervise the manufacture, trade, and use of arms, ammunition, and other related materials, and as they relate to other matters. As I look at the audience, thank God I see Alaji Gillen. Some people being old enough when we go through the peacekeeping process. We get ECOMOG, from there we graduate to UNAMSIL, the war come to an end. One of the ways them way government and the international community come together now for implement the disarmament process, for take the guns from the one that we call ex-combatants, so that we will pass now, we see guns all over. And the one that will be the carry guns at that time, now only the one that will be legally permitted for carry and like you now see. And we, of course, the Republic of Sierra Leone forces at the time. But after the disarmament, you will be shocked for finding out that from 2002 to 2009, after when you now see Lebanon left the country, we not be get a mechanism on we own for take the guns back from people. So in 2010, the Sierra Leone National Commission changed the commission from the Sierra Leone National Commission of Small Arms to Sierra Leone Commission on Arms and Ammunition. Well, if you want to know the reason why the commission transitioned from Sierra Leone National Commission on Small Arms to Sierra Leone Commission on Arms and Ammunition, the reason is simple. After the Second World War, we get the United Nations will also be demand necessary for get a body will be responsible for disarmament, where they call the Arms Trade Treaty. And the Arms Trade Treaty get countries that will be sign up. And if you sign up, you get a responsibility for honor the Arms Trade Treaty. And not just that, we get what we call the Peace and Security Department, now the African Union. Then we get also the Peace and Security, now ECOWAS. So then we realize that we not been they in line with the provisions of the Arms Trade Treaty and the ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms. Now that give rise for the replacement of the 2012 Act to what you get now. So, like how the minister demand, I will give some of the achievements of the commission. One of those achievements I don't see already. Now the act for make we comply with the dictates of the Arms Trade Treaty and also the ECOWAS Convention. The other one, now the creation of a national action plan where they apply almost everything now to 2029. So because of that, we destroyed this year about 3,900 unserviceable weapons. We call them unserviceable, but some of them unserviceable and they one and they can kill people. Then before that time, the commission succeed for destroy 8,500 arms. Imagine 8,500 weapons. This one, of course, the National Action Plan will get support from the Man's Advisory Group. So after that, the commission been do what we call marking. Now the south and eastern region. And after that, we go to the north. So now the one we left, now the one, now the western area will not meet. And on the 21st to the 25th of July, we just don't complete what we call the training on weapons marking machine. Why we dey mark the weapon here? If we mark the weapon, anytime when somebody commits crime with the weapon, police hold am, we can tell you who that get the weapon. If na police, we go tell you say na police get am. If na military, we go tell you say na military. If na Mr. Barnabas Judas bin get am, we go tell you say na Mr. Barnabas Judas na him bin get the weapon. He register am so so tell he license am. So this na some of the things dem wey we dey do, and some of the other one dem we don get a regional office na Bo and Makeni. We next step na to establish the offices na Otloko and Kenema. As I dey talk, so me sef just return from the Africa Union Fellowship program, where they try to bring it together. You know, when you listen to some of the things that you will be shocked. If they tell you, say, now this part of Africa, we get over 4 million rifles in circulation. You guys think I say, how manage weight today? So now the concerns them, they were for safety. For let we it will bring them down, the one the way don't absolutely destroy them. So we good, but it's too much. Why one keep the weapon to everybody for
Thank you very much for taking me through why una exist and waiting on some of our achievements. So, one thing from the briefing is that most times you get international obligations. When you sign up to some treaties, uh, the follow-up is establishment of some institutions in specific mandates. So one such is the establishment of that commission with Mr. Mara the head. And Sierra Leone is very lucky without any war, we able to take away a lot of the arms in circulation. But the one that we can put the conditions, or we can say we now do so because of blessing. When a lot of arms are in circulation, nobody knows if it comes for them. They can cause a lot of things. We're not able we also able to other serving people that they meet them, with counterfeit, they meet them with guns. So those are some of the concerns. But they are established for ensure say, I mean, we need international benchmark for destroying obsolete ammunitions, rent for ensure say at least also not of which are not one as alone. Now you say the label, the marking, the try from one Kenya and other places. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Now on your side, now on our program. So the panel is there. Come on, take the first fight, second fight. Yeah. One, two, three, four, five. First fight, don't go. So, number one.
Good afternoon. I wanted to today for Melody TV. I got this question about minister education. I can remember last year where they give them receipts again. So like convents, the sister receipts. So like it begets and be for the school first. But like you know we get the mark, you get 80. So the all go to school for go put in for the beginning. They take lots of money now we can. And even they get the scammer teachers, the way you say, they dey take money be say that one get the run am the run am exam. So one from where if the minister know about wetin dey happen na the country, and for now im put things in place.
Uh, Mr. Minister of Education, basics. Taking it through, we remember previously the education sector where you see about the number of people that are increase. But when you go at the provinces, because making go at the provinces, the declining issues on education at the provinces is very much alarming. How making they go online and other activities. I can take you through Bombalidi State. Bombalidi State, Safoko Lebachito, to be specific. The number of teaching the way they take the BPA, sorry, the NPSC exam, is very much high, but out of them, one they did also, we get them only one school we begin as winner allergic. Waiting happen where we not get the quality within the education sector because we get the quality assurance officers. Waiting they do there.
Yeah, my name is Constantine for social media. So, in terms of the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, I want to know whose plan is in place to end issues of unverified teachers or those teachers don't call it once and for all. We can't about spend 5 years for most teachers. But etc. Minister spend so much time. What's the plan? So, and once and for all. Meanwhile, we'll just clarify people there. Big F4662. It's like the last official was Teaching Service Commission. Now I have 4997. That's why I want to get people thing clear. That's all. Mr. Minister, so you said continue back at the back was what you government is now. One question. What you government is justice for teachers. Generally, because 8.6 million of resources in 2026 even go to 0.3, which is 3.9% to the GDP, right? Number four. Yes, then absolutely we are advanced for schools. So Commissioner, in 4,000, over 4,000 teachers, say, are all, most of them at the schools. But even when I find out as to the reasons why we don't meet them at the schools they are, and waiting that the parents at school don't set aside for them, our own teachers there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Ivan Channel, and I work for Export Times, Mr. Magazine. I could debate small because most of the question they did not ask them, but still to the Minister of Education. Over the 7 years, the government of President Bio, they do the champion human capital development, of which is very much important. But again, somebody will want for us because over the years, every exam, both NPSC, VK, and out of WASC, we really sees huge numbers of results. But why not now? The tendency will not write to WAEC, we wait for response. Why now? Why the delay? Or is it that when I've been negotiate behind us with WAEC or different one for now? And the other thing again, they just ended was examination 2 months ago. Something been come up this way seems to be very much strange in the education sector. When that somebody like if me and man or the of course me and man, maybe I can come, which we face every name. But if watching the register, I own my name daily. Sometimes my name can be at the register, but my name at the BRS, but not on the face daily. Should in case I see exam on that in that regard, what am in fit and what are the ministry in role in making sure subsequent years when I will address this like this.
Thank you very much.
And if
Yeah. All the questions are remaining, sir.
oh,
And I hear my understood. Yes. There's one question. On a more serious note, we do too much an administration as a government for improved education, human development. But this is not an activity where you see a government no more. We do. We all want to ensure that money we government they put taxpayers fee. It deliver tangible things for all people, not for us waiting government to do like uh, this lady say. When you go around those schools, there are people when they like compare for you. As you go to know people for interior elections admission, we all when we have teachers, we get cases. But it's a massive young case. This has for confirm principle. It is happening, it happens. We don't shy away from those things. When again, you say you just go keep on it, then you turn back and say, I don't give one man. One man say, help me. Even if you go to immigration, to be getting people when you post squads, where is the one man squads? They are there. Then they go through the right channel. If that no one goes through the right channel. So if you are unfortunate, anything happens. I mean, don't try to go through the right channel. They're not explaining kind of happen. While they talk for the minister, minister take you right. Explain it.
First of all, I want to thank you for the questions you want to ask. I think we'll direct all the questions at me. But, you know, as the new chairman of the party will say, by the authority vested in me, I will delegate some of those questions to the chair of the Teaching Service Commission. Because I think it better comes from him than me. But I'm quite happy to take and add to if I need to. But let me start off with Havana 2. You say last year people can take money and you specify the school, you say convent. What you go ask people to do, um, this year, if any principal asks for money, una get a hotline number 8060 na the ministry. Una please contact that number. Una give the details. Una get any evidence una get, we go take the appropriate action. And not just to say this, not to talk normal, to talk. Because not last year, the year before last, we suspended 6 principals na grade A schools, including Animals. I think we did PO as well. Yeah? Including middle school, Albert Academy. Because when we begin suspend, I remember somebody the ministry, he said, when you say your school daily, now I say, it's the right thing to do. And honestly, I had a very good relationship with that principal. But I had to make him an example. And I will do it again. The last time we suspended for 2 months, I remember there was big noise about the fact that it was too lenient. So this year, it will be more than 6 months. Yes, but we will take the action. We don't do it before, we will do it. And the reason why we do it is because the whole essence of equality school education. You know, people have been telling us all things about the equality school education. But the way we are define this equality school education, and they call it a poor policy. A poor policy. It is there to alleviate, improve the burden, the financial burden of well that way will make sure say that they continue. And I don't go hesitate at all. The second question this year about um you said mining, you said picking the gold and mines, and you also mentioned the fact that some schools they around the mines, they also not doing very well. So there are two things. Peter gets a concern about the mines. The mines is not only the beginning. In the teachers, they minded the recruits them. So one way we just say with the address that because these are basic economics. If they pay more, it will go. So we only want to do now for their minds that they invest in local schools. And when I say local schools, I don't just mean ordinary school, I mean real investment in school. Because there is a correlation between that investment there and the pipeline for great workforce for both and minors. Because if they invest in the school, they don't take the teacher. You understand? Because they're in school. But there's another aspect because you complex two things. The beginner where they're gonna minds, the teacher where they're gonna minds, and then you talk about on the performance. You know, before I've been minister, I've been sitting on the chair with Mr. Lance Sidon. So one of the things that we will do, and we will do it back this year, is that when all the dust does settle with the results, we will go back, we do an analysis, a proper analysis. We will identify all the schools with between 0 to 25. In other words, the pass rate, they're below 25. I think it increased at the last time to 30%. Yes? All the schools that were below 30%. The TSC, they go do a scoping exercise, find out why they've been in that situation, they develop supplementary teaching and learning materials for their school learning, support their school learning and mentor them, or make sure say they can improve. Now, this is not just something what they do no more for the base of people. We had an independent valuation of their school level with under 30%. And that independent evaluation would say we were able to move the dial from the one where they were close to 30, above 30, and the one that went there from 0 above 30. So we know that it works. And we will not do it before, we will do it again. So, Mr. Chair, just take note. The other thing we talk about most teachers and the punitive measures within the take for the teacher and without it. That day, I want to for the chair of the commission. I don't want to use the word ghost teacher yet because somebody said the previous government they spent 11 years they chase ghost teachers and they don't get non ghost teacher with them. But we at this point the way the chair framed the answer was very good. He said, teacher the way not doing at the school. Because we don't already, we did not suggest earlier on, say, we will suspend all the teachers that they for the bill. Now, the reason why I've been wanting to learn the earlier it's not because I'm a bad. Now, because I know from experience that the commission say, the only time when a teacher they leave, they begin come outside and leave. Now we pull in at the people. Then the minute you pull in at the people, then the begin come out from north, east, west, and south. And right now, as I speak so, then some of them don't begin come. Yes? So I am confident that that we got in Uganda. I don't think it will handle significant, but I think it will handle. Because we're not do this for bad. We do this for clean up the system. You know, I like where the question when we ask the PRO or CBSS, that was talk for something, we don't talk for two, that subsidy talk for. It talk for subsidy, but let's ask our council. Yes, but government don't forget money for pay subsidies. And tell that no problem for pay subsidies. The reason why we get problem for pay subsidies is because of the leakages in the system. Let me start for calculate that you get 4,900. Now put up 5,000. 5,000, you begin start for multiplying almost a pay teacher a month. Then you multiply by 12. When you look at that, you're going to several million. So if I work it out just very quickly,
You say, let's say 100 or 100 dollar for month times 5,000. Now times 12. You can work maths. So you see almost we don't waste. Then I just tell you that Jesus not say, we get 5,000 people there, we government people. We don't go to that exam. If we assume say each of them can alone pay $25 for them to wipe, yes? Now when I do the maths now, when I just take 5,000 with the $25, you see almost we don't waste. Then money then they, if we recover them, every pay subsidy. That's why we try to bring the system. This not to don't know that they put you under pressure. Now we say it's the right thing. Because leadership now about doing the right thing. And the president, when he did in opposition, he made commitments to this country. We block all the things. This is what we are doing. Yes. This is what we are doing at the biggest one. But I mean, the chair will take that. Just one thing, sir, that will finish this last question. This year about, it again conflicts slightly. You talk about whether the six results. So if you take NPSC, I think there are a number of reasons why they six results. One, now because of exam malpractice. But sometimes it's not just exam malpractice. What you will see is a trend where parents then they get them beginner when they class 4 and class 5 who go take the exams. What's it that with the Caesar? Who know with the Caesar? Because that pikin no ready yet for go take the exam. If you put that pikin, even if you pass the exam, then that pikin and then they go secondary school, they go struggle. And then what the public is say, is that well, if you pass the exam, so if you go struggle, that means to say the quality of the exam not be good, which is not the case. This is not unique to Sierra Leone because they have to back abroad. They call them parents and they abroad and they call them helicopter parents. The one hand they fly in with the beginning and they put them ahead of everybody else. So that's what we try to discourage. So let the chairman take the two questions. Teacher. The time when I'm starting for explaining because there are two people that are very important. This one is for us about my own very important at short time like this. Okay, well, teacher verification. Yes, you talk about the numbers. You say you get different numbers. Yes, that is true. Because when you deal with people there, we don't do that verification. The initial data number will get 4,997. But because some people they live somewhere where we don't know, they see they come out of, the woodwork, the fencing. So we don't decide for clean the data, as we clean the data, small differences that they can inside the data. So don't worry about the data, don't worry about the inside the big thing. If you be at the end of the day, now 1,000 with able CC, they're not the only people, they're not for the only people, they will take them off. That is benefits to the government. I think that is where we should be focusing. And if they talk about the reasons, there are so many reasons, but predominantly it is graft and corruption. There are people who have traveled, they don't leave this country, they're not going to other jobs, they work in NGOs and things in places like that, but they don't connect with the school leadership. They are still on the vouchers, they are still on the table. So these are some of the reasons. Some people they don't die. Where we did a list to Accountant General, the Accountant General we say some people they were missing at this list. We don't bury them 10 years ago, but they are still on the list. So these are some of the reasons. But so coming to the measures we would say. Um, Number one, we included, we don't suspend them for 3 months. We look at if they will surface again. But even if they can now, because that would be a trick, they will come back now and say, oh, I've been sick, I've been getting native sickness and all of them. Then they can register with district offices, then Then later on, we dey go back na dem places then, na dem schools then, we start identifying the teach for go verify. Because this verification is not the end of it. After this verification, me don go na a school, one school na Kailam district, where I go another school dey, one school, eight teachers there. As where I check the time go, eight teachers they will not attend that school day for at least 1 year. So once they reach there, we dey go verify, they all come in again and sign the of the title. So we don't suspend them and we try for clean up the street. We therefore give them all the benefits of the doubt. So after that, after then 3 months, then thank you. Thank you very much. This is about teachers, about us. Major General, Mayor question, if the commission will look ammunition, arms and ammunition, what about all the things will happen, look at production of iron prisoners?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mills. I will begin first with the locally manufactured weapons. That would be called chakabula. If you see any weapon, pistol or shotgun, they get serial numbers. No two weapon no dey wey get the same. Wey dey show you the country we manufacture am, the series wey dem dey until e come to you. Then we just conclude, and fortunately I get somebody as a member of the advisory board, Alhaji Gillen. He know some of the things about talk about. If the weapon come to Sierra Leone, and we just not conclude the weapons marking trainings. This na laser machine, and we take the weapon, we mark them, show if na SMD get will indicate, if na ARSLA will indicate, with the location where we mark am with the indicator. West Africa, for choosing an ECOWAS region, and na Sierra Leone, they will give them William code. Each weapon gets William code. So if the weapon missing will show which side we get, we call them tracking. But we are the come now to the armed robbery. I agree say the one day where they involved in armed robbery, especially the one day we calculated them, over 75 or 80% of them they use weapons. Because I don't get cases where some of them now fake one then dummy guns that they use. But almost over 99% of the one we check no registered. And Yusuf will attest to the fact that people are still in the business of manufacturing. Then we local blacksmith in a village. Then when they manufacture and sell land, you know they know. Chief self know they know. Then we also therefore know say we now we not on border, we get Guinea. The regulations on arms not to the same with we. People can tell you say they will go na market na Guinea. They will meet, they sell Sigubare in a shop. Now salon I'm not sure if you ever. Even when we get somebody who is seller, I will bet you say you don't go to shopping, go meet Sigubare, then they sell. Because before you buy that Sigubare, we forgive you permit for buying. And before we give you permit, we for do you background check. We for not say you don't get any mental problem. That one day will establish will they take you as CID will investigate you, they write the report. After that, we take you to IIS. We get your preliminary, not mineral is what they do. Then when we don't know with all of we send you back to Interpol. Yeah. Interval clear, he left to the registrar information and we never say he knew. Because we did get some other thing they want to do back, we look at you say, we know with you. Because I will tell you what, in your relative, we get a pistol and single barrel. But the single barrel is between the commission will refuse to give. Because at one time, he went to report and say he threatened them. And not to that thing. If you do that, although you buy the weapon, you know the ever the answer. Like,
Thank you very much. One. Three, four, five, six, seven, March, March, you can service. See that can be used polite in social. Basically, the subject of the challenge. Imagine a teacher not teaching health science or geography. Instead of say the subject matter where they teach, then you can get forget that. But instead of subject matter where you forget over the years, you try for professionalism. Tell me best you know the time to wait for professionalism. Which about we talk a lot about the benefits of gender workshop principle. We talk about that, say, everything you know, government, we mustn't public exam, not private government exam, when it comes private exam. Now, what is of principle when the next Minister of Education from applying education? Give them this on time to look up. We're now going to one for him to be grown up as a principal or shows the amount of guidance and parents and most of welcome to agree. Thank you. Next time.
Yeah, thank you. We have for commend teaching service commission to come for this activity for the teacher they have intent. The final this evening, I will be part of the activity where we go around where the number belongs to 5,000. What do you want to suggest? If we don't get up to September, as they put some teachers do not get people. Let immediately they replace them because now they don't get people, then ask for it. And the subsidy wey for car for the gile on a year, it's 1 or 2 times I know can say no for 6, 7 months, no get allowance in the classroom. The unfair to the one in the classroom, no they get nax, no when they work on aside or not abandon the classroom, then they pay you still. So you are if they replace every immediately on September, let the teacher them then as well they can say immediately. Because Ministry of Finance will begin the labor to replace them, other one, you are ready fast track process. And now they are one for say, thank you.
Yeah. That's now the answer. In terms of the stance, what I can advise to people, if you're intending, they're putting humans, you take out from over certain location, they do based on the blood exam. Recent to get recent case like that one of our convention was I just want to get clarification on that.
Name na Mahmoud Sila from the Nature newspaper. Over the years, when government spokesman or somebody come from Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Education, they don't see the reason why to wait people the doesn't recruitment of teachers, but there have been some school of thought saying that not to recruit una dey recruit, na replace the people of the entire. So wetin Ministry of Education and that of the Service Vision dey see that.
Nature of well-being.
Last offense.
Then our modern command and for new citizens to So education minister. About a year ago, Minister of the same concern with government now saying forward to like in relation to massive absenteeism. One of the MPSC for in case study. For late picking, where the class 6, about 4,000, 5,000, both you can 2023, 2024. So now, you can say on a been do investigation as at then. I want how will be end and waiting at the before. Then to you, so no, it's just start this from. One would get to know, get your right? How many private individual we get within the position of arms, we register with one. Like
Okay. Again, second question to the chair of the teaching service support. And it started with the one way whether teacher they will be access on the subject matter or the more generic approach that we use now. I'm sure you will handle that. Conduct of school leaders or the CPSS. Replace absent teachers immediately. Again, that's now for last. Waiting at the other one. Okay, that was Mahmoud. The wage bill. Let me take this one. You know, when the chair of the Teaching Service Commission doing presentation, he made a distinction between almost teacher and recruits. Almost teacher and replacement. When we do recruitment, we always do that. So let me reference who side you need for go check whether the line is allowed or not. If you go to the budget will tell you say there is allocation for 2,000 teachers. But when you do your recruitment, it tell you say, for example, that 3,300. Yes? They tell you say the 1,300 now replacement. Yes? Last year, we even go even further. We had a one funder, we fund 1,000 people with on stipend. They're not even there on wage bill. But rather than they go through subsidies that they get stipend, negotiate with this one that GPE, we make sure say early child teacher they give a reasonable amount as close to the wage bill as possible. So we make that distinction very clear. Now, I think Mr. Kamala, I think the point you make was a valid one. We made a commitment that we will do an investigation. That investigation, what came back was the fact that they were not able to trace who signed the deal. That's what we had. This year, I would not accept that. Yes? So the reason why, because when you go take exam in a particular area. The only way when you don't go able for trace who signed people as they come up, this whole issue of duplicates. If Conrad Saki appear now 5 districts, and Conrad Saki go take the exam now one of them 5 districts. When we to say Conrad Saki is absent from 4 districts. What's that Conrad Saki at this point in time? Now they 4 districts. Now the same name that you see. You understand what I mean? You will get that number of 4,000. But that 4,000 might be people when are duplicates. So not all because class 5 or 4 now the duplicates when they inside the system. This is another part of the leakage. You will see that figure, it will increase significantly when it comes to us. So you go back to that question, if you just permit me. That guy, the guy over there, I don't know, I think I'm Sabah, Jalo, Mr. Jalo. I know the answer the second part of my question about that BRS. Okay, this year we see quite a lot of fake BRS. BRS you dey produce am at the school. However, when you produce am at the school, so you can do anything like school, you get BRS. Wetin WAEC dey use na the exam hall, na the details wey dey get on the uploading of gas one. So that mean to say you can get what type of BRS, whether na man and woman, whether you carry man and woman sef, the gas come, e no matter. Na im make we no be dey take seriously when people dey go on and say I get BRS, I get BRS. Because we know say dem get more fake. Oh, okay.
Okay, and yes, you say people that we don't go, they don't learn qualifications years and years, and they only can't test them out for things that we don't believe in. But we say, question is, these teachers are teaching. Sorry, check out. Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but when you teach, and whatever you need to know, you need then subject. These are critical subjects where you need. But apart from only maths and English, where they will test you, they also test you in professional standards, in ethics of teaching, and all of those things. So there are so many other things, IT knowledge. Right now, in the 21st century, you can forget the skills and all, for you to be able to teach effectively. So if you are a professional teacher, test you, but we will only test you at UU level. If you're not TC, we give you TC questions. If you're not bachelor's, we test you at bachelor's level and so on and so forth. So that is the reason why we are testing that. So also Mr. Manley, they talk about level replace, immediate replacement. We are already having this conversation with the Ministry of Finance, and really we include it with World Bank. We don't get meetings with them. So we are going to have to do that immediately. As long as we don't take them off the payroll, we did actually try to ensure say that is going to happen for replace them. But that is why right now we don't open the portal. We're not going to recruit you though if you don't pass that license. So before even September they come, we don't open the portal for let people they register, people they want to be employed, then they register, and once they register, take the examination and pass, then they will be in that massive recruitment we will do. But I will also just talk briefly about the replacement and recruitment. Now, just like how minister say, we have introduced we have been talk about the numbers there. 2000, now IMF negotiated, the government they give it down every year. So then they not a replacement, now new recruitment. But people that they also we don't die, we don't retire, we don't abandon, we don't travel. They're only in the other 1,300. So that's separate. So we they call them replacement. However, because of equitable deployment, if you left school now or you join a one school, you will teach social studies, for example, and they attend social studies teachers in that school. We're not going to replace you in that school. We will send you to another school who send you not getting teachers there. So these are the difficulties we get people in the they don't understand that the like for like. When one move, if we do that one day, schools they will be well subscribed. But in the schools they will not get nothing. That's why now we give 70% to schools that will not get no teachers.
Yes, sir. You can talk on the picking away the long seats last year. The ministry we call the school heads of school they were involved. All the find a way involved, go with the IT teachers. All the blame go to the IT teacher say he not able upload. He go see kind of the screen red, but when he go check, nothing na only the class one, but for class two, they not be able to get am. So when you blame the principal blame the IT man. So now that's make the ministry be say, if you get your IT man, you not trust that, you not understand form of law, go to the ministry. The ministry get the spam office, the officer, the lady. At any time you get difficulty in enter for them picking and take any exam, go to the ministry, then they will guide you so we don't get that same problem when we get class.
Sir, I get two questions. I think I three. The person break the one up. You say how many in private individuals we don't license. I will tell you the exact figure. But I just want to let you know, see, we get over 1,000. 1,000. Okay, about 1,000. Then I come to the laws. Vincent, go and use your opportunity to ask how many people don't read this we act. I mean, say no and no go. So now the problem begin. We brother said, if go na an occasion where somebody brandishing weapon. I don't know if the person don't charge for continuing it. The person just, scout in whether or school or yeah, it shoots. It shoot is there. No, you pull out for for anything. Caution. Any fire. They're not supposed to. You just kind of happen. You take the responsibility. And I thank God when I already have majority of them just say if you able record them, you find. Report them to the nearest police station. After that, make sure you don't social media. Text are not even known because you understand. And I wonder if you say when a case like that happens, the police get the responsibility for questioning. Then I make reference to one case where I say we destroyed over 3,900 weapons. Some of them were connected. Now weapons where the judiciary hand over to me. Then weapons there, now weapons that we begin at court, we will lay for commit crimes. After we do not pass judgment, they hand them weapon over to me, we destroy them. So now so then weapon you know we just report and now we think I will destroy them. If you get case, you go answer to the case first in a court. After the case, before they hand them over to we and we do the needful. But they always learn for report. Not sit down, you never out the thing where holiday she say, men and man pulling single reporter. If you know say that's what reporter, then we will call that. Because if not to we set you report, we know to we go arrest them, we will tell police and go invite her. When they invite her, we will take the weapon and if we say that the wrong thing is doing, when they take the weapon, we see that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. As you say, we all pleased with some of the responses we are going to be. We cannot answer everything here. We're not going to find answers to key issues. One thing we're very clear, some people welcome public wrong, irrespective of whether person. And in all wrong for that year, welcome. As long as you don't go You don't go all the time. Let us see get out. That is why anytime that your weapon fire, don't say that you fire. Then the law will take in God. Then this blame game about platform upload, whatever you upload, the end of the day, and your parents and the beginning and they suffer. Then now the government they pay more than they supposed to pay. So I'm pleased that the ministry for work glove with principals ahead of schools. For now, ensure say what's for our for our about teachers, me I only call them most teachers. Now unrepresented teachers. Because if you go to some schools, some head of schools will tell you say I get asked, bring the camp, they go bring 12. The 18, you know, bring the camp. They are not good, but they are not there. We will take actions for cleaning. Like somebody said, if we clean up the road, we will respond to very many other things. At this point, at this time, with authority invested in me in the absence of my minister, I was drawing continuous on the process being saved. Thank you very much. All of you for coming. Thank you too. My name is. One question from me to Ola. Just look in the back and tell me, would have not ever talked about this forum.